All right, I'm Dave Ratt, and today let's take a look at fixing some microphones. We got a bunch back from Coachella and just a general pile that's accumulated. I decided to dive in, share the fixing of mics with you. So here's what we got. This is a Beta 52. I think that's what that is. Big Shure kick-ish mic. Got a couple of these really cheap Audix mics that we use for talkback. We don't need anything expensive, and they're marked. So this is marked test. These two are marked loose, and I can feel that they're loose. I've got a radial DI box. Maybe we'll take a look at that. Couple Beyer M88s. What a wonderful mic. Lots of low end. This is a big mic. Really full sounding. Here's a Shure something or other, SM37, KSM37, and a cheap Shure mic, PG58 on-off switch, another talkback. A nice one. This one's kind of not part of our inventory, but I saw it laying around. It's a Sennheiser 431, MD431, and we've got a mic cluster here. Let's cut this apart. I think these probably all came from the same stage. Let's see what we got. This one says, test me. And it's a Shure KSM32. There's another Shure KSM137. And finally, we've got another one of these KSM137s. So, cool. Let's get into it. All right, so let's dive into this pile of mics. First thing we want to do is test them. So I'll put the headphones on and start with this. Make sure phantom power is on the console. KSM137. And I can hear those mics. Hey, two. Yep, hey. I'm not hearing any crackles here. Turn these speakers down. Sure is taped up. They really, sometimes when you mark a mic for bad, you gotta really mark it for bad. I mean, using a half a roll of tape is probably the best way to mark these bad. Otherwise, maybe we won't know that they're bad. Let's see what's underneath here. And, all right, we've taken off a good layer of paint with the electrical tape. It's always handy for keeping the mics looking older. All right. Hey, two. Yep. All right, I'm not really hearing any crackle here. Oh, well, we'll open it up and take a look anyway. We have another one of these, so we might as well get into that. This one says popping. I don't like mics that are designed with paint such that the tape will take it off. It's nicer to have an anodized finish. Hey, two. Yep, hey. Now that's interesting. This one definitely has got a lot more output, but there is a 25 dB pad on this. So let's go ahead and see. This one's set up there, so let's go check the other one. And since we have two of these, we'll be able to really find out, make sure they work well by hey. Now it's quite noisy. Position. Hey. And this one is not noisy. All right, so I would say that there's definitely something wrong with that other mic with the noise. While we're checking out Shure condensers, we can check out, I can see what the problem is. A problem here. This is missing a grill, and it's not mounted into its housing. Fun. Let's go ahead and check that out. I'll hold this up for you. See, we've got the mic is not held in, that quarter in. It's got a missing grill. That will be something that we may or may not have parts for. Test me, a Shure KSM32. Yep, hey, toot. Hey, toot. I don't like that rattle in there. I don't know if that's normal, but I guess it's a good reason to open it up. What do we got here? Let's take a look at this 431. Now these are neat mics because there's a little plastic piece on here that can be removed that it gives it an on-off switch. If you take it off, the on-off switch goes away. It's magnetic and it doesn't have a hole. I don't believe there's a hole in the housing. We can take that off and look. Hey, toot. Let's bring up the gain here. Hey. Now there's something. Now these have shock mounted, so we're hearing the shock mount there. But I'm also picking up a hum and a buzz. So we'll get into that. Cool. What else do we got here? We've got our two little shakers. Seem to work. Hey, two. Sounds all right to me for what it is. Two. Hey. This is buzzing. Now, a lot of times these mics may be just fine. And they, there's something else wrong and they think it's a mic. Something wrong there. Yeah, that's not supposed to do that. All right, so let's go for the low-hanging fruit here. First, let's do the cheap and easy. This is loose. Let's see what's loose. This is an Audix i50, I believe, or something 50. Not really familiar with the mic. And hopefully we can get the grill off. Yes. On the capsule, there's what's loose, and there is the problem. Look at this. This is all twisted up too. So somebody has messed with this. These wires are not supposed to be twisted. When you have a mic and a capsule that's got wires and then thread, so when you screw it in, what you do is you untwist them a bit, and then you screw it in and it twists them back up, and that way they don't get overly twisted as you're messing with it, as you're screwing them in and out. But that's how you deal with that. Okay, this is really wedged in here. So I'm guessing, okay, I can see what's going on. There is a metal ring here, which I bet was going to hold the capsule down in here, and the capsule has gone past, or the metal ring has gone into the grill, and it shouldn't have. So I'm going to grab that metal ring, see if we can get this thing out of here. And we can cut it. I'll use some scissors. It looks like it's not a very strong metal. There we go. And we're not being very gentle with this mic. That's a cheap mic. And there is our retaining ring. Now the capsule, I'm assuming, comes out. Yep, there we go. And we'll unwind some of this overwinding. Someone tried to work on it to look at it. A little excited there. And now what we need to do is find a way to get this to sit back in here. How does it fit? Oh, it just goes right in. Okay, so there's just a rubber mount, and then it's got kind of a shock mount-ish thing here. Cool, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Doesn't look like there's any other real issues. For this, I'm just going to go simple. We'll do it the easy way. Let's just put some glue on it. So I've got some super glue here. And I'm going to run a bead of glue. Now the key to this type of repair, first of all, I would never do this on a nice mic, on a valuable mic. This isn't really worth my time to fix if it takes more than a few minutes or so. If we can't fix it fast, so it's a throwaway. But if we get it working, we'll put it back in inventory. So we're going to slide this glue. Now we really don't want excess glue to go onto those threads. And I can see that I did put a little excess glue on there, and it is on the threads a little bit. So we'll want to get that off. I'm looking for, and we'll take off as much glue as we can. And this should do it. Now I'm not going to put the grill on now because if I put the grill on now, it could glue the grill into the threads, and maybe another mic breaks or gets a bent grill. We can use this grill for something. I'm going to set this off to the side, and we'll get back to it later. Okay, we got another one of those. I'm not going to do that on camera because no reason to repeat ourselves. Let's do something. Let's do this 431. Let's go from cheap to fairly nice and expensive. Now, one of the things that I've heard about the 431 is it has the same capsule as a 441. Well, let's find out. I happen to have a 441 capsule right over here. All right, here's a 441 capsule. It doesn't have all of its little extra stuff on there, but that's the core capsule. And let's plug this in while we're doing it, so you can hear what we're doing. Let's turn off phantom power. Not that it matters, but just less pop. Let's turn this up. Hey, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Hey, not a lot of low end of this mic. I know I remember these things aren't very bassy to start with, but not sure if that's the mic or an issue. Okay, we can feel the shock mount. Let's go ahead and take this off. And this is the one that buzzes. And we're right on the bit of feedback. So there's a hum in the background here. Yeah, turn that down. All right, so here is the 431 versus the 421 capsule. Now they do look similar. I'll pull this off the top. The vents are different but similar. The coils are in different places. The humbucking coils way down here versus here. I would say that they're different enough to where I would not call them the same capsule. This has got metal around the outside and a perimeter entry, and this one has a perimeter entry with a center opening as well. So the capsules are similar. They might be based on the same maybe magnet structure, but they definitely are not the same capsule. All right, here we go. I still hear that hum. Let's remove the magnetic switch. Not that that has anything to do with it, but let's see what's underneath it because it's kind of interesting. I believe if my memory is correct here, it's been a lot of years since I've used one of these or seen it. This just comes off, and there's some little bits in there. And then these screws that I took out would go back into those holes, and it becomes a non-switched mic. But that did not affect our hum and buzz, so we're going to put this back together. Whoa. Oh, it's in off position. Haha. Okay, so the hum and buzz does go away when the mic is off, which means that it's coming from, the issue is being created after or before the switch. So the problem is up in this area and not from the switch on down. Okay, so here's our side vents here. We got some low end coming. Let's see. Now I believe on this mic, this unscrews here. Beautiful. Now look at that. This is, whoa. All right, that's interesting. If I touch here, the buzz doesn't go away, but if I touch here, it does. And we can see our shock mounting system. It's basically got almost like a piston drive. Look at that. It's got, very cool. And there's a metal ring here. There we go. So we're finding part of our issue. I'm not going to pull that out because I don't need to. I think I know what the issue is. Because I'm touching here and I'm grounding it out, I'm guessing that the problem is, if you look, I did another video on galvanic corrosion, and on galvanic corrosion where dissimilar metals form a resistive connection over time, and these dissimilar metals that I'm seeing here, the aluminum, I'll bet you that this is a mechanical electrical connection. All right, check that out. There we go. So the even though that was tight, it wasn't tight enough. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, pretty mic. Unfortunately, it's aluminum, which is a little bit, you know, I don't know. It just feels a little cheap there. Well, we got rid of the hum, and let's put this back together. This is the problem with aluminum. Aluminum threads can be quite unwieldy, and if you cross-thread it, they're going to be ruined forever. Good connection, good grounds are critical on these microphones. Hello, hello. Okay, well, it's not a great sounding mic. Let's see how it sounds in the headphones. Yeah, hey, 1, 2. It sounds mid-rangey to me. Hey, 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 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, hey, hey, all right? But I don't really have the ability to test it beyond this. I would need another one to compare it to. But we did get rid of the hum, so we made some headway. All right, let's move on. Okay, now, here, we're hearing some hum from the XLR connector. Now this is actually, when you see that extra tab inside the XLR, pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, and pin 1 can ground to the shell housing. Well, this shell housing is floating right now. When we plug it into a microphone, the microphone grounds pin 1 to its microphone shell housing, and the microphone shell housing touches the housing of the XLR connector, and so then that carries the ground through, which is very effective in reducing that hum. So when it's unplugged, it may hum, but when it's plugged in, it will not, because all mics have their All metal mics have their shell grounded. Non-metal mics have some sort of internal metal housing that's grounded.